All right. Thank you so much. I hope we can all hear me. All right. So welcome to yet another Youth in AI series. The Youth in AI series, we host monthly sessions to show and display and basically teach you the impact of AI in various career sections or sectors. And earlier this year, we've had two sections. We had a session for introduction to AI where we had experience and industry experts, AI practitioners, teachers, and talk to us about AI. And we've also been able to treat responsible AI as well. And with these several sessions, we've had over 300 registrations and positive feedbacks. My name is Joy Bakshaw, and I'll be your host for today. I'm a software engineer, and welcome to this Youth in AI series. Okay, next slide, please. All right, so these objectives here are basically what we aim to cover in this series. So for this particular section, we'll be looking at AI applications in modern agriculture, which is a very, very important aspect, right? And substantially, we'll be looking at harnessing smart farming techniques for sustainable future. All right, so the objectives are quite exciting. One fit of AI and smart farming. To explore the various AI technologies and the applications in enhancing agricultural productivity, to discuss the challenges and opportunities in implementing AI solutions in the agricultural sector, and also to inspire and equip participants with knowledge and skills to explore AI-driven agricultural innovations. So I hope you sit tight, and at the end of this, you'll be able to cover all of it. You'll be able to learn about integrating AI into agriculture. All right, so this is our agenda for today. And next up, we'll be having a workshop presentation, after which we'll be having a panel discussion. And then we'll be having a presentation from the Enyana Health team. And then we'll move to our Q&A session and call it a day. All right, so we have our workshop presentation next. And the workshop presentation would be given to us by Mr. Alfred Quaynor. Mr. Alfred Quaynor, and he's the founder and chief enablement officer for AB Precision Solutions. All right, so a bit about Mr. Alfred. Mr. Alfred is a proficient information technology consultant with a demonstrated history of working in the information technology and agricultural services industry. He possesses extensive knowledge and experience in delivering solutions for the best value. And his technology background has enabled him to provide experience and guidance in many technology-related activities, and is currently translated into precision agricultural systems. And he has been working with and consulting for various agricultural businesses to implement and efficiently deploy precision agricultural solutions. So please join me in welcoming our esteemed speaker, Mr. Alfred. Thank you so much, Mr. Alfred. You can have the floor now.
Hi, good afternoon. I hope everybody can hear me.
Yes, sir, we can hear you.
Okay, like you said, I'm Alfred. I'm with Precision Solutions. What we have been doing is trying Precision Solutions as providing that as a service for our small-scale farmers. This country, when I say this country, I know we have people everywhere. Solutions, which, we are still competing in a global village. So if you don't have this, you are competing with a person who has, all the tools to make agriculture easy for them. So what we are doing is, how do we combat this? And we're using these solutions, provide them as a service so that our small-scale farmer can benefit from it without having to invest in it. So that's what we've been doing the past 4 years, and so far it's picking up quite nicely. So today we're looking at the role of AI in modern agriculture, and we're going to look at a few things, and we all discuss to see how best we can get AI to impact our food productivity and food security. So let me share my screen. 1 second. Are we okay? Can everybody see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good, good. So today we're talking about the role of AI in modern agriculture. So first, let's look at the challenges we have here, which is some of the reasons why we need to take a look at AI seriously. And the first one is the climate change, and we can all see that the unpredictable weather patterns is now making traditional farming very challenging because you plant you by the usual standards you plant at a particular time, you're expecting rain to fall at a particular time for you to be able to grow to the end. But now we don't even have a handle on we don't have a handle on the weather patterns. We are also looking at our resources. Now, water is becoming a problem because if it's not raining well, then you can't just go about watering anyhow. We have, land challenges here in Ghana. Our soil is becoming degraded because we've been farming the same soil for a long time. What are some of the other things we're facing? We're looking at labor shortages. I mean, in this day and age, with a lot of the youth we have, growing up with mobile phones and computers and all that, I don't expect the youth of today to go into farming with the cutlass and the hoe. And I mean, our older folks also who are in it, they are also, fading out gradually. So who is coming in? How do we make farming interesting? These are some of the challenges we have in agriculture in Ghana today. And of course, there's the constant issue of pest and diseases, which is a threat to crop productivity. So that my whole goal is let us look at what AI is and how are we going to use it. So what is AI in agriculture? There are several areas in which we use AI in agriculture. The first one, which is one of the things I do, is crop monitoring and management. So with crop monitoring, and that is where precision agriculture comes in. And what do we say by crop monitoring? Historically, most farmers, they do things by roads. And when we say roads, it means they have a schedule that they are following. So they plant, they water, they do certain things according to a particular timetable. So let's take the issue of, let's say, fertilization. When it's time for fertilization, they are distributing fertilizer across the whole field. But the question is it the whole field that is like? So if it is not the whole field, guess what? We are wasting resources. So these are some of the things we want to avoid. So that is where it is important that we monitor the crops, manage, take data, and be able to do predictive analysis. The same management goes into our soil and water controls as well. What is in the soil? What do we need to add? Pest and disease control. We need to detect them early so that we will be able to mitigate them before they become a problem. Because once these pests hit your crops, guess what? You are losing. And no matter the business you are in, the black bottom line is what you need. You don't want to be in the red. You want to make profit. We're also looking at livestock management. If you look in Ghana, we have a lot of cattle farms. Their cattle has been stolen and all that. How are they monitoring them to make sure that, at the right time, they are able to do good breeding programs, give them the right feed, because you want the cattle to hit a particular weight for the market. So these are all the things that we can use AI for. Then we are looking at market access. Where am I located? What is the price of my crops in this area? Who can I use so that I get the maximum price for my crops? Transparency. These days, a lot of people want to know where they're, how do we trace? And this is where we can use blockchain optimization and all that. How do we trace to know what we are getting? So these are all the areas in which AI is being used in and remember that when we say AI means what? Artificial intelligence. And it's just ways of acquiring data. So all these systems that we have is just acquiring data, analyzing the data, managing it so that we can use it for predictive analysis. We can look at the data and predict what will happen. Then we put the resources and the structures in place so that by the time the thing happens, it's we are ready for it. I mean, simple AI, weather forecast. The weather, there are sensors in place looking at the behavior of the weather to tell you that it's going to rain tomorrow. So when you're going to do, you take an umbrella. That umbrella is you being ready so that when it rains, you don't get wet. In the same vein, now, how is AI going to benefit us in Ghana? Like I said, one, increase productivity. It's going to help us achieve higher crop yields and livestock because now you are doing things not by what is being done all the time, but now because of the data you have acquired, you are able to get information which will tell you that do this at this time, do this at that time. The same goes for livestock production. Usually we just feed them anyhow, but if you have data telling you the breed of cattle that you have, there is another database sitting somewhere telling you that this breed, this is the kind of feed you need to give them. There's another database sitting somewhere telling you how to formulate the feed. When you put all this together, increased productivity is what we're looking at. Sustainability, the resources you have. For example, we use drones for farmers. The drone uses 70%, in some cases up to 90% less than using a boom sprayer. So imagine you have a farm in an area where there is no water. Carrying, gallons of water to spray against another form of spraying where you're using up to 90% less water. You can see the savings you are making already. The savings in terms of water usage, the cost of even transporting them. Then we're looking at economic growth. Like I said, our youth do not want to enter agriculture. But now, with AI, with all the technology available now, it's going to make farming interesting. And if it's making farming interesting, then we can bring in more people to produce. My next question is, with all that we're saying, how come everybody is not using it? Because there are a lot of challenges and barriers to adoption. We have infrastructure issues. A lot of this data requires connectivity. It requires the infrastructure needed. You go to a place like, you can stand in one location, you are connected to the internet. You move left to the left or right, and you have no connectivity. So if you're using a sensor or something which requires connectivity to work, then you know that it's not going to work. So the basic infrastructure is one of our challenges. Now, of course, the cost of technology. An average which will do all the crop monitoring, crop spraying, digital mapping stuff can cost you in today's all right, about 300,000. How many of our small scale farmers can afford that? So we need and his whole production is probably about 80,000 cedis. So where is he going to get 300,000 cedis to be able to um, afford it? Then, using the same drone as an example, once you buy the drone, you need the knowledge and the skills to be able to use it effectively. You need to learn how to fly. You need to learn how to fix it. You need to be able to extract the data from it. I mean, it takes a lot that comes with it. How are small scale farmers going to be able to take care of? And this is where, like I said earlier, it becomes a job creation market, because now I can set up a company which is providing the service. Somebody also has a company which is supporting me by fixing my drones whenever they are broken. Somebody doing all the thing and everything. So you see, once we try to meet the knowledge and the skills, it allows us to create more jobs and mitigate these barriers that we're looking. Now let's look at some of the case studies here and what is being done. So we have a company like Isoko. It's a Ghanaian company. I work with them. They use AI to provide farmers with weather forecast, market prices, and agricultural tips via mobile phones. So you see, with this, a lot of the farmers can now plant at optimal times. So at the bottom line, they are still getting the benefits and the advantage of AI. We have Farmer Line. They are platforms where they have AI using that has also increased crop yields by 50%, reduced post-harvest losses by 20%. And so you see, our small-scale farmers may not know that they are using AI, but somebody is using it and bringing it down to their level. And usually that is a challenge that we have. It is not something that maybe I will use it all the way to the end, but I use it and I always say appropriate technology. Farmer Line or Isoko, they have what it takes to know what the weather is going to be like in 3 days, 1 week, in 2 weeks. So they've done their bit. Then the farmer subscribes to it for maybe 1 cedi or 2 cedis, whatever the price is, but something that they can afford. They also get to enjoy the benefit of it. But in all that I have said, how can we make it prevalent in Ghana? We're going to need government and policy support. You see, for example, I go back to myself. What are the policies and programs that are going to drive AI in agriculture? It should be a national effort. Then we all take a piece of it, and then we work with it. So we need a national effort. And when I say national effort, it encompasses words that uh, education, for health. Um, so let's say Ministry of Agriculture, Ministry of Education, Ministry of Health. All these people, in addition to donor, private donor, and all, everybody, we need to have a policy which is going to drive this thing. Otherwise, we'll all be working in silence, which is what is happening now. We will all be doing our own little things to try and get something going. But if there is a general policy, this is where Ghana wants to be in the next, um, hold on one second. Okay. So if we have a policy which is telling us where Ghana wants to be in the next 10 years, in the next 5 years, this is what we want to do, then that is when we will have a, a concerted effort and approach which will help us as a nation to move forward. Global best practices, what is happening in the rest of the world. And you see, what is happening in the rest of the world, how are we going to take that? The fact that it's happening somewhere does not mean we can take that and come and implement it here. No. How are we going to use that? Look at what is happening and bring it into our situation. And let me give you an example. Back to my drones. We had challenges with some of our drones because they were produced in USA. Over here, our weather conditions are different. So when we run them, they run too hot, and then it becomes a problem. So now I'm in talks with some of our engineering departments in the universities. How do we how do we craft or modify my drone so it can work here in Ghana? That's what I mean by take the best practices. So you see, now this, and that leads to research and development. So that now look at what is happening. This is where we go. So you see, one, we have a policy we want to meet. Two, we're looking at the technologies. Three, we're doing that with what is out and tailoring to what we are doing here. It is not a blanket go and pick, but we're going to look at what is happening out there, take it and bring it here to suit us. So to wrap up, since I just have a short time left, which is okay, so the future trends is what I was just talking about. Looking at the emerging technologies, looking at global best practices, and then we do research and development. And this has to start from the bottom. When I say the bottom, we're talking coding. Are we doing coding in our primary schools? We're talking agri. Do we even have agri as a subject in our primary schools? You see, so this is what I mean by not working in silos, but working together as a whole. So in conclusion, AI holds tremendous potential to transform agriculture in Ghana, but we have to stop working in silos, increase collaboration among the various sectors, and then together we can transform Ghana. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Mr. I really enjoyed the session, and I know we've definitely learned a lot from your session today. Thank you so much. So we'll move over to question and answer for this session briefly, and we have two questions in the chat. Mr. Alfred, yes, we have to in the chat box.
Okay, so how do we make poor farmer benefiting? There are many. Okay, so see, so that's where I was saying there are people, you know, where we're providing these services to the farmer. There are companies who are providing the so you see, it's one the tools are there, but there is that middle bit, which is why I said we should not work in silo. There is that middle bit which needs for us to take the tools, twist it, carve it, turn it around so that we can use it here. It is not all the tools also that we need to import. Now that we have, and that is where the research and development comes in, we should also look at our own environment and what can we do, or the things that we are doing. It is not just replicating what is out there, but how are we able to use what we have to serve our farmers. So for example, uh, companies like Isoko, they have used the AI to get the data. Now what do they do? They have someone making sure to report the results in their local languages, and the farmers can just. So these are the things we're talking about. Research, see what we need, and then point that. I guess I've also responsible and bring them down. So that's why I'm saying that, of course, we don't need to reinvent the wheel, but we need to repurpose the wheel for ourselves. If somebody has already developed a solution which can give me weather forecast, good. Now I get the solution, bring it to Ghana. Okay, how can I take the results of this weather forecast and give it to our farmers? Our farmers do not have, not all of them, and all that help them get the data on app. So that is why you have the community vans. You have short codes that they are YAM phones. They can dial *34# and listen to the weather forecast for today. So that once they do that, if it's ready by 5 a.m. every morning, they know when they dial *234#. And these days, I always say that everybody knows how to set mobile money. So everybody knows how to dial a short. Dial it, listen to the information for the day, and then you work with it. Thank you. I don't see. Okay, as you mentioned that AI benefits.
Thank you very much. So the third question says, as you had mentioned that AI benefits agriculture and not working in isolation, how are you physically collaborating with other industries and institutions to get their buy-ins?
Okay, so I just even came from a workshop with the World Food Program where they're doing a complete digitization landscape. So they contacted me to see what I'm doing, because they've seen that, okay, there are several of companies like myself here. He knows something. So we're doing our own small thing. So what we can start is with that, contact agriculture, tell them what we're doing. I see all it will only work well when there is a national policy. Because now, for example, if I go to, there are certain offices you go to, and this is the first time they are also hearing about what we do. So that national policy has to be there, and then we build off of that.
All right, thank you so much, Mr. Alfred. So we'll quickly go over to the next session, which is our panel session. All right. So for our panel discussion, we'll be talking about accelerating AI adoption among smallholder farmers, the challenges and opportunities in integrating AI technologies into small-scale farming operations. In this particular session, we have a moderator for the session by name Leticia Boateng, who is a technical advisor and agribusiness e-learning consultant, and should be introducing her panel, and will proceed for the next session. Leticia, please, if you are on the floor, you can have the floor. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much, Joy. And thank you, Mr. Quino. That was quite a great presentation you have there. Thanks a lot for sharing that with us. On this panel, we have Gifty Manye. So Gifty, if you are there, kindly put on your camera and join me. And also I'll invite Mr. Frederick Kwame Yeboah. So yes, you did mention about introducing them, but I think they will be the best person to do that. So I'll hand it over to them to give us a great introduction, just a brief introduction about themselves, then we kick it up from there. So over to you, Fred. Kindly introduce yourself and also let me know more about your background and how it brought you to what you do now.
Okay, hello. Can I be heard?
Yes.
Yes, please.
So good evening, Ghana time. It's morning here. I'm very grateful to be invited to this special section and to also contribute my knowledge to the advancement of AI in Ghana and Africa as a whole. My name is Frederick, as I was introduced, Frederick Kwame Yeboah, and I'm a Ghanaian from Ghana. Of course, my background is I have a diploma in agricultural science from Ghana and a Bachelor of Agribusiness also from Ghana and a Master's of Agricultural Economics and Management from China. And currently I'm working on a PhD project on environmental accounting and sustainability. My professional experience has been working with farmers and promoting good agricultural practices in cocoa agroecological systems in Ghana. I've done this for 8 years, but now I am into agricultural technology as well, and I'm a private consultant consulting for organizations and medium-scale enterprises that are interested in using digital solutions to improve their operations. I also work here in China as a research assistant at the Center of Economic Research at the Gansu Agricultural University, and I've participated in the rural revitalization project here in China. I've also worked on the Global Program for Innovation and Entrepreneurship, which is also held here in China. And what led me to my current organization, that is Connected Farmers, is that in 2022, I was invited to lead a 10-member team to participate in an innovation program. So during the project, we were able to model an application that connects the entire agribusiness value chain and the actors on it to improve food accessibility in Africa. So that's where the interest started, and we formed a group called the Connected Farmers, which is aimed at improving the adoption and application of digital solutions among farmer households and agricultural businesses across Africa. So we believe that digital solutions should be accessible, affordable, and tailored to specific needs to ensure ease adoption. And so this is a short introduction with myself, and I'm glad to be here. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Fred. I'm still waiting on our next speaker to join us, but while we are still on it, yes, I'm not sure, Joy, do you want to say something? Because I see your hand up since you're moderating. Okay, then I'll continue with it. So since she's not yet here, I just want to dive more into Connected Farmers. Now, you are talking about Connected Farmers, but when it comes to the layman's understanding, we all know that farmers are mainly based in rural areas and all that. So how do you keep them connected with digital solutions? That would be my first question to you.
Yeah, okay. That's a good question. When we talk about digital solutions, mostly we think about complex things. We think about computers. But long before computers came, we have been using digital solutions. The sprayer that is at the back of a farmer spraying is one of the digital solutions that is solving a problem. And so there are a lot of these, just one example, which we will dive deeper as the questions come up. This is just an example of simple digital tools and solutions that can aid the farmer from production up to the last stage of the supply chain. And so we look at all these things using systems that we have built here and testing them here with farmers.
Okay.
Have I answered your question?
Yes, yes. Ideally, so from what I understand, it's not, if you are talking about digitalization, you don't really need a lot of internet or digital equipment to make things digitalized, from the understanding I got from your presentation, but thank you very much. All right, so I just want to dive more into what you do. So I want to know some of the most exciting real world applications of AI that you are currently researching on.
Okay, so I start with global, and I narrow it down to the context of Africa. And globally, the research is on crop disease detection methods, automated weed control systems, livestock health monitoring systems, predictive analysis for crop yield. We have precision irrigation systems, and we have drone-assisted surveillance and supply chain forecasting tools. These are at global level, and we are looking at how to scale it down to the context of Africa, and for that matter, small, medium-scale farmers and individuals who are in agriculture or the agribusiness value chain. And so what we are researching into is how to train the farmers to adopt these solutions that are being offered to them. And so we use a RIOT model, RIOT model. That is what we are into. It's a first project we are working on in Ghana. And it's the first R stands for research. And the I stands for identify. The O stands for optimize. And the T is the train to adopt. And so I give an example, since this is not a visual presentation. When we talk about research, we take a farmer, say a poultry farmer, and we research all the activities that he does on his farm. And then we identify the areas where help will be needed, or the hotspots that require solutions. And then we optimize the solutions to suit the context of the farmer, looking at the farmer's resources, looking at his income level, looking at the locality, looking at the network, looking at all that surrounds the farmer. And then we are able to assist the farmer. We train the farmer until he's able to adopt the solution or the digital solution that we offer to him. And the second point that we're working on, the second project that we're working on, is the iConnect. The iConnect is also a collaborative platform that brings all the value chain actors in agribusiness value chain, from input providers to logistics and to the market as well. And so with the iConnect, it's an app that is coming up that a farmer who is able to read and write, and this is tailored for graduate farmers, because we noticed through research that now in Africa, particularly Ghana, farmers with high level of education are increasing. And so this one gives knowledge to people who have never farmed before, and they are looking for knowledge on how to go into the agribusiness sector. And so with the iConnect, with one click, you are able to locate an input provider. You are able to locate a service provider, say a technical expert, a consultant. You are able to know where logistics can be found. You are able to know the market before you even go into production. The last thing that I'll talk about that we work on now is the farm aid. And the farm aid tackles the extension officers and the farmer gap that we have in Ghana. It looks at how to mimic an extension agent, so that with an app, the farmer will be able to get all that he gets from the extension officer. And so these are at the developmental stage, we are at the research stage, and this is what we are working on now. Thank you.
All right, thanks a lot. I really like the idea of an app, but then I think we have Count on Crops, which is going to be Gifty. So I'll hand it over to Gifty to just give us a brief introduction about herself. Then we go on with our panel. Hi, Gifty.
Hi. Good evening, everybody. Big respect to all those who have spoken ahead of me. I've been quiet and listening. I think that there are lots of great prospects for that great industry, and I'm pretty much excited about it. Unfortunately, I won't be able to turn on my camera because I'm in the middle of something, and I would like to speak without camera if it's okay with you.
That's understandable.
Thank you very much. So my name is Henyona Manye, for short. I'm the team lead at an agriculture advocacy agency called Count on Crops Hub, established somewhere in 2022. And this company came into being as a result of the lack of advocacy, the lack of platform for farmers to voice out their challenges, or a dedicated platform that will highlight on the success of farmers in Ghana and Africa. The company also came into being to put together extension agents. And I love what Frederick where there's an app where farmers can go there and have access to extension services like an extension officer is with you. I'm very much happy about that, and I hope to talk to him further about it. So we started working somewhere 2020 from the COVID time, where we moved across the entire region, collaborating with the district agri officers, and then letting them give us some number of farmers who are in good standing, who are doing the good agricultural practices, who other people can watch and emulate. So we tell their story. We share the story right from how they lease or bought the land, tilled the land, and even decided on what I want to produce. So that was our flagship project that we had from 2020 up until now, which is the Ghanaian Farmer. That's our flagship project. That platform was created solely to highlight on the great things, the efforts that farmers put into the activities they do. And at the end of the day, we have food on our table. They are creating jobs for others. They are paying some mini taxes to also contribute to the development of the economy. So that's it about the Ghanaian farmer. The other part is where we are into farming ourselves, because we've come to realize that we can't be preaching agric is good. The young people should go into agriculture, and we cannot be found in the space. So we had to get some partners, and then we went into potato production. The first one was about 45 acres of the orange flesh potatoes. And then this year, we are in the eastern region looking for another land to add more vegetables. So we do the production ourselves as well. Then we have an initiative called Extension Alert, and that's why I'm very excited about Kwame's projects that he mentioned at the tail end, where we try to collaborate with the district officers, put them together and help them, bring them up to speed on capacity building in terms of what is new. So their capacity can be built, and they can, in return, transfer that knowledge to the farmers they are working with. We also do agrotourism, because we believe that is a niche that when we encourage farmers to put their farms together in a way that people can come there not just to buy food at the farm gate, but also they are visiting to relax and also learn. We think that it's a good way of earning an extra income as a farmer, even while waiting to harvest the commodity that you have actually planted. So that's what we've been doing, and a few others, which is recently we launched the Agric for Girls initiative, which is solely targeting or focusing on young women. We are empowering especially those who are unemployed, those who do not know how to identify the opportunities. When Agric is mentioned, a lot of people think that it's all about the challenges, the risk, and all that. But there are some great opportunities that when one leverage on, you would be financially empowered, you would become independent, you would be free from this unemployed graduate association movement that we have ongoing in Ghana. And that's what we don't want our ladies to also become part of. So the initiative was solely to empower them to be able to adapt and also find some niche for themselves, and be in a good standing, contribute to not just family, but also make impact in their community. So briefly, that's what Count on Crops and Enyonam. I prefer you call me Enyonam. That's what we are all about. Thank you.
All right, Enyonam. Wow, thank you. I see an inspiration in there, but I'll still go ahead and ask you, what was your major inspiration to start Count on Crops?
Thank you very much. So, as a young girl, I was one of those girls that when their father asked them, come and let's go to the farm, I'll cry my eyes out. I don't want to follow him to the farm. And to surprise everybody, I do not have any agric background. I didn't study agric in any way. Maybe JSS, we study some agric, but I'm a pure PR person. I did my diploma in journalism and then degree in strategic communications. Right after my degree, I realized that in the line of journalism, all journalists, or most of them are targeting what will make you come to the spotlight within no time, which is politics, entertainment, or sport. So I asked myself, what then happens to those who put food on our table? What then happens to the matter of sanitation? These are societal issues that need to be tackled head on. But I realized that our media landscape would only highlight on them occasionally when there are challenges, or when you hear that food prices going high, then they are running to the market to talk to the market women. But should it be an occasional conversation? It has to be a daily conversation. Okay, so I did not want to follow the bandwagon. I didn't want to become one of the political journalists or sport or entertainment journalists. I wanted to carve a niche for myself. I am that young woman who would spot a problem and find solution if it interests me. And if I think it would benefit a larger people than not just me. So in 2020, I was already producing a content called Business Trends that was airing on GH1 TV. And I had my equipment together with my team. So we were thinking, what area of the industry lack talkability, lack the spotlight, yet they are doing a lot. So I was just doing some research, and then I discovered some agri programs in America. And whilst reading and watching some of their videos, I got some, motivation, because my father was a not just a fish farmer, but also a crop farmer. But you know what? If today government of Ghana says, I am rewarding farmers who started their farming somewhere in the 1950s or 1940s, my father would definitely not get any award, because there is no evidence to back his claim that he actually went into farming all his life. Today he's on retirement. And so I said, I will be that journalist who documents visual-wise and online-wise to tell the stories of farmers. So I put my team together. We developed the concept. We hit the farm, did the promo. By the time we had done our first 2 episodes, multimedia saw the concept and I said, hey, we love this. Can we be your partner and to broadcast it for you? So around the time 2020, most TV stations or radio stations who you would hear them today talking about grape on maybe daily basis or, every now and then, do not do that. The Ghanaian farmer is the pace setter. We set the pace. That today, some senior journalists who were so much political are trying to associate or are now trying to, look in the area of agric. But I wanted to be that young woman who will put the spotlight on that farmer who made you enjoy your fufu, that farmer who made you enjoy your jollof, that farmer who you don't know that drives a G-Wagon. You see them in their outfit, their dirty outfit, and we look down on them and we think they are broke. Let me tell you what, go to the rural areas, meet these farmers and see their buildings, see the cars they drive, and see the agric expos they attend. And those of you in the corporate office, you might not even get that chance. So I wanted to use my platform to clear that negative narrative and also let people know that agric is rewarding. It has its own principles, its own protocols, like any corporate organization. And if you follow the principles, it is rewarding. From 2020 up until now, if you know what I have benefited personally, the feedbacks, the impact that I have made with my platform, you would quit your job and start doing agric, man. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Enyonam. Before I move on to Fred, I just have one last quick inquisitive question. So the name Count on Crops, I just want to know, why Count of Crops? As much as it has a realistic name that rings a bell in my head, I just want to hear it from your own mouth. Why Count on Crops?
Oh, my dear. I was on Joy Masterclass this week, and the host asked me the same question. Why count on crops? And I asked him, at the end of the day, we all go back to the crops to feed. The crop will give you food to eat. Your livestock, if you are into poultry, if you are into piggery, if you are into cow, what do you give them? You give them what is left from the crops or the grasses or the cassava, your sheep, your grass cutter, your rabbits, even the fishes in the ocean. Down there, when they are enjoying, if you like this series they do on animals and all that, check them when they are down there. They still feed on crops. So at the end of the day, it's like a 360. I am here. I play a role in every aspect of the agric space. You need the crops to do almost every little thing. So why not count on crops? What else would have been the best name? Thank you.
Thank you. What else would have been the best name indeed? Thanks a lot. All right, back to you, Fred. So my next question to you is just going to be about your success stories. I want to know, I want you to share how Connected Farmers utilize AI to support farmers in enhancing their productivity. You are muted.
Okay, hello.
Hi.
Yeah, thanks for the question. So success story. Well, we are not product specific. We don't provide the products or the digital products. What we do is we connect, as our name suggests. So we connect the farmers to the right digital solutions. How? By understanding what they do and then what they need, and then through our education or our system, the route system, as I mentioned, we are able to recommend the best digital solutions to them. So one of the things I will mention is there is a pilot project which currently ended with the iFeed, one app called the iFeed. The iFeed is targeted towards poultry farmers. We evaluated how this can help speed up the activities done in a typical poultry farm. And so the farmer enters the number of weeks the birds have spent, and then is able to give the exact percentage of nutrients and feedstuffs that are needed to formulate the feed without the farmer looking into any book. And we have seen that it is precise more than the farmer trying to use his experience and knowledge to formulate the food, which always leads to high cost. And so this is one of the success stories which we want to probe further to see how we can scale it up to other poultry farmers, the medium-scale poultry farmer, to also benefit from this. The second one is we have also tested an iWater app, which also reduces waste. It is able to tell you the amount of water in the soil, and it's able to tell you that turn on your irrigation tap or turn on your drip pipes. And so this app is also simple to use, and is able to reduce how farmers spend in acquiring irrigation tools, and then the amount of time they even spend watering is also monitored with the iWater app. The other one that we have done that I call it a success is the farmer education. So far, we have reached about 96 farmers, and they are all giving us positive feedback. Although we are at the research stage, we have not scaled up our applications and our work down. With this 96 farmers who are reporting that whatever we've taught them, they are able to remember, and they are waiting that we recommend solutions that are affordable, that are easy to use in their daily production. And so this is few things that I can share in terms of success stories of connected farmers.
Great. All right, thank you very much. As much as we have all the success stories, I wouldn't want our audience to think that there are no backlogs, there are no stones to turn. So would you mind sharing some few challenges you've had with us?
Okay. Yes, every journey has challenges, and as a startup, we are less than 2 years old. So I think you can understand the challenges. And the first one has to do with getting data to support the research that we are doing. And sometimes it's difficult to get people to go to the field and get us the data because about 97% of the people working in connected farmers are remote in different countries. I'm here, others are in the US, someone is in Belgium. And we try to connect to people down in Ghana to get us data. But when the data arrives, you see that this data can't be used. And so the next challenge then comes to the cost. There is high cost in the research that we are doing now. And because now we don't have any funder now, all the funding is from individuals that we are bringing on board. So there is high cost in implementing our strategies and implementing what we do. And the next one is the technical expertise. Sometimes you train, you recommend, but at the end, when the farmer receives the digital gadget or solution that you have recommended, the ability to maintain, and I like it how Alfred presented on that. It is difficult to use most of the things that we recommend because they are not tailored to our ecosystem. And so we need more people in this field who understand how the agricultural system works, how digital solutions work, and will be able to assist in managing the tools that we bring on board or the tools that we are recommending. The last phase is the adoption phase. And the adoption phase comes with a lot of challenges, especially the culture of this is how we do it. I've been with farmers for more than 8 years, and I can tell you that mostly it's difficult to persuade them to use something that they've not used before. And so it takes a lot of energy, it takes a lot of time, it takes a lot of resources to persuade the users or the target markets that we are looking at. And so these are the 4 key challenges that we have encountered so far: data, technical expertise, cost, and adoption.
All right, thank you very much for sharing that. With that, I'm going to pose the same question to you, Inyona. Can you share some few challenges with us you came across during your journey?
Hi. So beginning this whole project, the year 2020, that was also around the COVID time. Because farmers were not used to having a media person come to them, wanting to promote them, it was pretty much hard getting them to understand what it is I wanted to do for them. So, I mean, our first phase, the first 6 months going into 1 year was a bit of struggle because I needed to write letters to the district office, introducing myself and what we seek to do to promote the farmers in the districts. So the first was getting them to appreciate that I am not coming to do anything bad, rather than put the spotlight on them, rather than connect them to new market. Because you see this platform, it connects a lot of local farmers to international people out there, especially those who want to come down to Ghana to invest in farming, those who want to buy our commodities. One way is connecting them to new markets. Number two is to, celebrate their hard work. I mean, how far they've come, so that it would encourage other young ones. They were not looking at the positive, but they were like, why are you coming to carry or capture us on camera? What benefits? So it took time for them to appreciate what it is I wanted to do. But moving, I think after the 6 into the 1 year, it was easy. They were the ones who were started, calling us, invite Ghanaian farmer, come to our district, Ghanaian farmer, come to this, so that was a bit of challenge. Then number two was logistics. In terms of vehicle that will move us from Accra to the rural areas. I don't know if you're a city girl or a rural girl, but if you've been to the rural communities where farming is done, my sister, your saloon cars cannot go there. You need pickups. And at that time, as an independent content creator or producer, I was driving a saloon car. And so logistics was very, very challenging to be able to get to some of the communities and then tell the story. So logistics was a big challenge. Then thirdly was resources or funding. I would interest you to know that a lot of corporate institutions still do not appreciate how big our great is enough for them to want to sponsor or align with you. So funding was a big challenge, especially when I have crew, not less than 3 or 4 people I'm working with. The editor, sound man, cameraman, all these guys, you need to pay them. And nobody sent you, really. Nobody sent you to do this. You said you want to do it. So I need to cough up money to pay them. But it was worth it. I mean, looking back, 4 years down the line, if I had known, the time I used to produce business trends, I would have started doing agri 2017. You understand? So everything has its own ups and downs. Okay, but I have had the spirit of resilience. No matter what the challenge is, I'm still going to do it. That's my mantra. For me, like I told you, I don't wait for someone to come and tell me, and this is an opportunity. Would you want to try your hands on? If I see it and it falls within my capability, I go for it. I'd rather go and ask for me to be turned down than sit back and say, oh, I wish I had gone, to ask for this opportunity. So yes, those were my major challenge. Number one was getting the farmers to understand the concept and appreciate what it is going to do in their lives. Number two, logistics. Number three, funding. But all those things, I have overcome them, and I'm doing amazing, incredible. If I told you I didn't go through these phases, it's a lie. But today, I am the go-to person when it comes to agric. So it's worth it. The pain and the trouble and all that. It's cool. It's okay.
Wow. I just like the sound of you have to go through the pain and you've gone through it. And with that being said, I'm really excited and quite inquisitive too. Would you mind just sharing about 2 success stories with us?
Oh, Nasa 2 years Sakra.
Hey, any adults?
So dear Sakra, I wish if your gentleman, the team guy who called me, I would have just tabulate some of the feedbacks out of our program for you to just see them on the screen. Today, I got a call from a gentleman who was in Canada, but thanks to the Ghanaian Farmer Continuous Education, realistic education, sharing not just the good side, but the difficult side when it comes to agric investments, he's relocated to Ghana from Canada. not Zongo, from Canada. And he's in Ghana doing a great on a commercial scale. These are some of the stories that when I hear them, if you wanted to get my WhatsApp number, get it and let me push messages to you. A lot of people who are living abroad and have come down to Ghana to do farming because of my stories or because of my content. That is number one. Number two, a lot of corporate people years ago, I think one of the panelists, was it the first speaker also, or Frederick, mentioned that research has proven a lot of corporate people are now going to farming. And that's the truth. A lot of corporate people are now going into farming. And I meet them on regular basis at great conferences, seminars, and they will tell you, listen, because of your content, because of how you break it down, today, I'm not just a corporate worker, but a proud farmer as well. These are some of the stories that people would share with you, and you become excited. On my platform, they've over 500 farmers that I have reached. They will tell you how much our platform has given them leverage to meet other people that they are doing business with. Farmers are able to do business through our platform because I let them mention their numbers during the interview time. And people call them and they are trading. People are trading with farmers that we have interviewed. Farmers are getting people to come and invest into their farms. There is one example also, Marflex Trust. He's one of the biggest vegetable producers and exporters in Ghana. You want to look for him and ask him, what did Ghanaian farmer do to your brand as a farmer? Through us, he has gotten not one, not two, not three, a lot of people to come and give him money. We will not be able to come down to do the farm, but we want to invest into your farm. After 3-4 months, because it's vegetables, send us our money and turn over, send us our profit and turn over our money. Through our platform, he's gotten people to invest into his farm. For my feedbacks and success stories and impact, I call it impact story. In fact, the team, and we are planning to do from next year, it's only going to be impact stories. We are not interviewing any new farmer, but going back to those who we've interviewed, let them say on camera what our platform has done to them. But if you like, after this, go on YouTube and look for feedbacks. Our platform has become the educational piece, the go-to place if you want to learn. The first place to learn, just like a baby, the first place to crawl or who helped you to crawl, start from your home or your mother. That's what our platform is doing for farmers. Thank you.
Great. Thank you very much, Enyonam. Then I'll move back to you, Fred. How do you see the future of AI in agriculture, especially in the context of small holder farmers in Africa?
Okay. Well, the future is bright, as I always say. It depends on how you position yourself. In terms of small-scale farmers in Africa, it presents an opportunity. And if you don't see it as a barrier or something that is going to compete with you, it is going to help to make better decisions as to what to grow, how to grow it, how to source inputs, where to sell your produce. These decisions are going to be precise and improved with the advancement of AI. And farmers who are entering or are gaining knowledge in AI are taking advantage in this already. When we look at the advanced world, for US and Europe, almost 87%, according to studies, of farmers are now adopting AI to make decisions. Before they grow anything, they go and seek AI support to know what product is selling, where do they need it, how much do they need, what input will I need, how will this input improve productivity. And so AI, the future of AI in decision-making is going to improve. The second part, AI is going to change in the future is in terms of technical advice. It has been difficult. Me being an extension officer some years ago, I saw how difficult it is for farmers to get technical advice in terms of what to do when they face challenges. In the coming years, AI is going to support farmers who rely on it. They are going to get information as and when they are needed, as and when they require information on planting, disease control, harvesting. I mean everything that has to do with production process, marketing, distribution, logistics. This technical advice is going to be available anytime they need it. The next place that we're going to experience improvement is the management. And this is a key aspect when it comes to Africa, particularly Ghana. Our research that we did a year ago shows that most poultry farmers collapsed because of managerial incompetence. And though people have different definitions, different issues with that, but this is the key thing. Poor management will lead to failure. And so with the advancement of AI, we're going to get systems that are able to manage the entire production process from the day you bring your day-old chicks to the picking of eggs is going to be regulated by AI. And though in Africa, different models are needed to take advantage of the advancement that is coming up. We also see the change of jobs, the transformation in the agricultural sector. When there are no more technical officers on the field, or there are few technical officers on the field, what would they be doing? In the future, these officers and these technicians will become the brains behind the systems, the softwares that are going to move the agricultural process. In Netherlands, we had a workshop, and the presenter was from Netherlands, and he was showing us how the entire tomato farm is being run and regulated by a robot, and is able to mimic every condition. So if they want sweet tomatoes, for instance, they regulate the temperature, the weather to African standard, because we have high sunshine, which result in sugar formation in the tomatoes. So if they want sweet tomatoes, they regulate the system to suit African weather. When we come to Ghana or Africa, these things are going to be done in small scale, medium scale, and 20 years to come, we are also going to operate in full scale using AI. So this is what I have to say about the future of AI.
Wow. And just the fact that you are involved in AI research, I just want to ask you, how can students and young professionals get involved in AI research?
Okay. The first thing I want to say is they can get involved if they see AI as a friend and not a competitor, not something that is going to deprive them of their jobs or is going to take them off their positions. And so the first thing, see AI as a helper. Picture, because this is not a visual presentation, I always like visual presentation, but I want everyone listening to picture, see yourself like the farmer who has a dog, and the dog goes to catch an animal and brings it. The dog goes to pick something and brings it without a farmer going that far. This is what AI should be to you. It is something that should help you to do your work faster. If you are an officer who registered farmers, by using AI or by seeing AI as a friend, you are able to regulate the registration process so that this year, if you registered 100 farmers who are able to pay for your input, in the next year, through AI, you are able to detect which farmers are likely to pay if I give them input. The AI is able to know the characteristics of the farmers, their yield and everything, and is able to tell you, if you give your fertilizer to A, he's not able to pay. And if you give to B, he's able to pay. And so you should see AI as a friend in order for it to benefit you or to be engaged in research. The second thing you have to do is to collaborate. You have to collaborate. And when it comes to collaboration, I mean, when there's a project online, where there's a conference, look for people with like minds and work on something. In working with something, you should understand the country that you are now. You should understand the priorities that the government has placed. You should understand the supply chain if you are in agribusiness or agriculture. Understand the entire supply chain in order to identify what is the missing ingredient, what is the challenge, what is the problem. Me being as an extension officer, I was able to think that we should develop the eye manager, which is able to mimic the extension officer. So we want to work on it. So depending on how you, where you are and your interests, identify a challenge, identify a problem, and then try to find out why, and then how can this issue be solved. In doing so, you are already in research. And for some who will be looking for jobs or internship in order to see that you are in research, because I know for most people, if they are not employed or if they are not taking their bag to go to a physical working place, they don't see themselves as researchers. But what I recommend is take a course in AI. Go online. There are free courses online. Take a course, seek opportunities to do internship. I mean free internship. Tell them, I want to do free internship. I want to work with you. People who are in AI, do internship with them. Seek research assistantship positions. And I think this is going to open up a lot of opportunities for you. As you do this, who knows, doors will be open to you, and then you'll find great opportunities in the future. Thank you.
Oh, thank you very much, Fred. I like the sound of take opportunities. I like the sound of taking courses. And for that reason, I think I'll just mention that if you are interested in taking any agribusiness courses, you can log on at Tingy. I'll have a team member there put the link in the chat so you can hop on it and take some courses. The courses there are free, so you can take some courses to enhance your agribusiness. That being said, I'll move on to Enyona to just give us some five top skills that are essential for a career in agribusiness.
Thank you, Letitia. So tell Frederick that he has a student. I'm coming to study more about AI. He makes it so easy and cool. So Kwame, you have a student right here. So 5 things that you can leverage on as an individual. So first off, I would pick on passion, or I'll mention passion. Because you see, Letitia, if it wasn't for passion, but it was all about what I am getting in the next few months, I would have quit producing or quit creating content on Agric. I told you my first 6 months into 1 year was pretty much challenging. I need to pre-finance my productions. When we travel out of Accra, the hotel for the crew to sleep, pay them, it was all from your pocket. And that few 1 year or few months, revenue was not coming. So passion is number one. Don't just look at the flamboyant success that I'm enjoying today, associating with big organizations like World Food Program, Netherlands Embassy, the German Chamber of Commerce. You don't see me associating or being on their platform, speaking or moderating events or working with them today and think that, oh, okay, I think it's easy, I can also be there. No, it doesn't work like that. It took me almost 3 years to start getting the chance or recognized by these organizations want to call you and say, we want to work with you. Recently, MasterCard Foundation launched the African Agriculture Influencers Network. We are about 12 influencers from West and Eastern Africa. When I got the email as being one of the young people, I was shocked and I was asking them, why? Why me? They said, well, we had to read about you. We had to see the impact you created, the number of years you've been working in this space. And so we think you deserve to be there or you deserve to be selected. So passion is number one. Don't look at the success of today. It started 2020. And 4 years down the line, I'm benefiting what it is I'm benefiting. Number two is being ready to learn. You see, I told you that I'm a pure communications person, a PR. All I know how to do is write campaigns for companies, advertise and all that. I did not study agric like Frederick did and has PhD and all. I did not study any of that. But when I psyched my mind, when I said, this is what I wanted to do, and I wanted to become a go-to person in that space, I avail myself and learn on the job. I learn all the basics that I need to know about agric, their terminologies, their languages. I learned about it. Okay, so you should be willing to learn. If you are, navigating into a different industry that is slightly different from what you were trained in school for, then be willing to learn. And like Frederick said, we have to take up some courses. And you also said it, Letitia. You said we have, me from here, please give me the link. I want to sign up and learn more about AI. So that, because I do consulting, so I can encourage my farmers on how to, also leverage on these AI tools to improve their farming. Remember, Monday is International Youth Day, and the theme, you know what the thing is. So digital, how we can leverage on digital tools to improve what we are doing. So it's important, or it's imperative that you should be ready to learn. Number three that I will go for is to create a brand. You see, there are a lot of people online, and anybody who reach out to me talking about, and I have a farm, I'm not able to market my commodities, or I'm not able to find buyers, or I'm looking for partners. I ask them, are you on social media? They say yes. Do you have your business on social media? A lot of them know, but it is their personal handles that are on social media. Okay, even if it's your personal handle, what is your brand presence? How do I identify you if I'm looking for you? One of the agric influencers in Ghana, recently we're having an online meeting. He said he went on Google to type agric influencers in Ghana, and my name popped up first. Because you can't do away, when you're typing, you can't do away without Ghanaian farmer. I am everywhere, I'm in your face. I have a brand. It is recognized. You can see it. You can align with it. You can associate with it. So that is a brand. You need to establish a brand. You need to have an identity. You need to be distinctive from the others so that you stand out easily when they are looking for people among the cluster. If not, then you will struggle to excel. You will struggle to be able to be identified. So it's very important that apart from passion, apart from learning new things or learning the industry, language, and practice, you should have a brand identity so that you can be known for what you're doing. Now, number four, I would go on you being able to market what it is you're doing for the industry. Marketing is very key because at the end of the day, all of this, it is for it to generate some revenue for you to sustain the practice or to sustain what it is you're doing. So if you are in agricultural landscape, you want to be an agribusiness person, whether you want to be buying and selling, you want to do the farming yourself, you want to be an aggregator, you want to go into agritourism, you need to know how to market the packages that you even have for somebody visiting Ghana. A few days ago, someone had sent me an email that I want to come to Ghana in September. And so when I'm coming, I want to visit 3 farms that are into greenhouses. So how are you going to help me? I said, first of all, I charge myself. I'm not an NGO. He said, yes, we know, you've been saying it on your channel. Then number 2 is you putting together the package for the person. So right from transport, reaching out to the farmers who have the greenhouses, put the package together and send to the person. So if you want to craft a niche for yourself in agritourism, then when you build the brand, the number 2 is how to put the package together and sell to these visitors who are coming, or how to put the package together and put it on your platforms for people to see that, okay, if you're looking for fish farmers and you reach out to this person, he will take you to all the big fish farms in this country. So number 4 is learning or knowing how to market your crafts. It's very important. Being it a farmer, a commodity trader, an aggregator, someone into, or even content creating like I do. Gone were the days I begged the farmers that I want to come to your farm. Today, they call and I said, this is my budget. And they say, come and showcase us or come and promote us. And I go. So if you are not able to market your products or your brand, and then you're in for a long haul, you will go hungry, my brother. In this world of TV and radio presenting, it doesn't really pay. It's all the packaging, you understand? So you've got to find smart ways to leverage or make money from your crafts. Then the last one will be the godly factor. And of course, having a role model. When I started, like I said, around 2020, there were barely nobody doing a great content creation. So I didn't have anybody to teach me on how to navigate my way around packaging myself, approaching farmers, talking to them, organizing annual conference and all that. I didn't have anybody to look up to. But whilst reading and researching, I got some international journalists who were Greek people to connect to. And so I have 2 main people who every now and then, if I want to do something, I reach out to them. This is the initiative. This is the concept. What do you make of it? And then they tell you, okay, I think you can do this and you can do that. So first of all, you need God. You have to pray to give you the strength, to give you the wisdom, the knowledge to be able to go about this and succeed. Then number 2, you need someone to talk to. A lot of the time when we mention mentors, young people don't know how to leverage on mentorship. Your mentor should not be someone you always run to with your problems. It should be someone you would run to most of the times with success stories. And then the problem should not be a problem. It should be something you're working on, but you need his guidance on how to go about it. Then they guide you. Because you know what? If you always come to me with issues or problems and all that, I'll be like, listen, I can't babysitting you every time because I have a lot to do. So from afar, you need to be learning from this person, positioning yourself. So by the time you get closer to that person, you're already somewhere. And your mentor can also hold you from there and take you far. There's this public speaker, what I'm running up, called Vusi. He's in South Africa. He said, listen, a good mentor is a person who recommends his mentee in the boardroom when decisions are being made. When they are saying, oh, we need a young person who can do this, he raises his hands and says, listen, my mentee can take care of this. And you are called for that contract. So before you select a mentor, please don't be running to the mentor every now and then with issues. Go with things I'm working on, and I need you to help me shape it up. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I see we are far behind time. So for that reason, I would want us to make way for the next presenter. Just to wrap up, can you just share one word or just one sentence that you think will be the key takeaway for our participants? So just one sentence so that we can make way for the others. And for the questions, if you allow me, I'll ask the team to just put in your LinkedIn. And if they have any questions, they can just connect with you on LinkedIn and ask those questions, if that is fine. If not, and the host is willing to give us some time, we can take up the questions. So just one sentence, then I'll also want to know what you would like, whether for them to just send you messages on LinkedIn just to answer those questions, or you would prefer not to, and we will see if the host will just give us some time to cover the questions. Thank you. So over to you, Fred, just last sentence.
Well, the last sentence is just don't give up, because the possibilities are endless. That is what I always say. And if somebody like me can learn, then you can. And so I think Gifty have said it all, and I don't want to repeat. And so take advantage of AI and then make your life and your journey easier, though it takes sacrifice. You must be willing to pay the price also. So thank you.
Thank you, Fred. I am a proud product of if someone can learn, you also can, because that's what brought me to what I do now. I'll hand it over to Gifty. Okay, so your last sentence.
Thank you very much, Letitia. My last words would be to the young Ghanaian on this platform is that in this day and age, or in this era that we find ourselves, unemployed should not be heard from you as a young person. Whatever you've been trained or whatever training you got from the university, if after national service you don't get that industry to employ you, that is what the training you got was for. You should create a job for yourself. And thanks to digital tools, digital platforms, you can easily create a job for yourself. Our popular and very own Wudimaya will say that if you still have a phone, a smartphone, and you cry for unemployment or you cry that I'm broke, then he doesn't know what to tell you. What I'm saying is that let's walk from unemployment to become self-employed people. And that should not be a hard thing for today young person to do. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much. I see the team have already started sharing contact, so that means there wouldn't be enough time. But I just want to say a very big thank you to you too, to both Frederick, Yabwa, and Enyonam Manye. We are really grateful for having you, and we hope that the youth here today will learn a lot from them, because they really shared a lot today. I'll go ahead and hand it over to you, Joy. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Mr. Fred. Thank you so much, Enyonam. I've been able to learn a lot today, and I'm very sure that the audience as well have picked up one or two things to go home with. Thank you so much, Letitia, for moderating such a wonderful session.